Good morning, everybody. I apologize for posting my walking in Orlando video so late, but my boyfriend was in a car accident, which prolonged my ability to edit this video, which is mostly voiceover. Anyway, last Friday, March 21st, I was in Orlando, Florida for business, and rather than spend my free time and $500 at Universal Studios, I spent about $25 in gas driving all around Orlando to find the best walking paths. I began my day driving about 27 miles north of the airport to Dickson Azalea Park. I actually parked at Langford Park first and walked around there. It is also a beautiful park with a nice wooden walkway and shelters for birthday parties and family gatherings. Then I crossed the street to Dickson Azalea Park. This was not a long walk, only a couple of miles, but the landscaping in the park was absolutely beautiful, and I highly recommend you come here to get away from the big city. Next, I went a bit further north to Harbor Park, which is near Lake Baldwin and Baldwin Park. This was a beautiful high-end area with nice shopping, restaurants, and big Floridian homes. The walk around Lake Baldwin is about 2.5 miles, and I also took a little spur around Lake Susanna, so that was about a 6-mile walk in total. This was really fun, and a lot of people used the trail. At the end of the trail, you come upon a dog park, and then there are restrooms there. So I was really happy to run into the restrooms. Then I drove west to Eagle's Nest Park, but I don't really recommend this walk. The park was nice and it has a baseball diamond there, but it really wasn't much of a walking trail at all. So I don't recommend the drive out to Eagle's Nest Park, even though it is a very nice park. Then I drove southwest to walk part of the Shingle Creek Trail. I started at the 2-mile marker, I walked to 0, and then I walked back to where I started for 4 miles. This trail follows along a major highway, but once you get back into the trees, it's really beautiful and feels remote. This is the beginning of the Everglades, apparently, so the path shows the fish, animals, and birds of the Everglades. And so I did really enjoy this walk a lot. I really like this trail now. You can hear kind of a lot of noise from industry over there, but it's really beautiful. It's tree lined, and I haven't seen any wildlife, but I just feel like I know it's out there. And then I'm coming upon a lookout. After Shingle Creek, I drove about a mile or so to the Millennia Lake Walking Trail. This trail was in a gated community that probably locks at night, but was open when I got there. It's a 1 mile long trail, and I just walked around it once. It was okay, but not my favorite. So today, with all of those parks, I walked a total of 13.5 miles. On Saturday, it was a cool morning, and I drove northwest from Orlando International to Cypress Grove Park. This was one of my favorite walks because the cypress trees around the playground area are so beautiful. There is also a walking path around a large athletic area, a dog park, 2 bathrooms, and a gazebo. I bet a lot of people get married here. I highly recommend coming to this park if you're in the Orlando area. I walked a couple of loops for a total of about 4 miles, but this was such a beautiful park. I really enjoyed starting my day here. Next, I traveled north again to Blue Jacket Park, which I discovered was close to Lake Baldwin, where I had walked the day before. This park is in a really beautiful suburban area with beautiful homes. The walking path around this area must have been at least a 4-mile loop, so I could have walked a lot here, but I was in a hurry to find other parks, and I had a business meeting later that day. But this was a very beautiful suburban park. Finally, I drove southwest to the Longhorn Loop Trail. You park at Dr. Phillips Community Park, which has a really nice playground, and from there you find the bike path, and soon you'll come up to the Longhorn Loop Trail, named after the Longhorn Steakhouse. This loop was a sandy terrain that shows Florida's scrub habitat. It's very short, so I walked a bit more on the trail, but then at Sand Lake Cove Development, I turned around and walked back to my car. So this was a great walk, and thank you for walking Orlando with me.